They say it's just a children's story, animals two by two, a big boat, and a rainbow, but they couldn't be more wrong. The tale of Noah's Ark has often been painted in bright colors on Sunday school walls, reduced to a cartoon of giraffes peeking out of a boat. But beneath the surface lies a message of immense weight, one that speaks of divine judgment, relentless mercy, and the cost of obedience in a corrupt world. Long before the first drop of rain fell, the world was drowning in something worse than water: evil. Genesis 6:5 describes it starkly. The Lord saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. Violence, pride, and rebellion had overrun humanity. God was grieved. He decided not just to cleanse the world, but to reset it. Then enters Noah. He wasn't a warrior or a prophet, just a man who walked with God when no one else did. In a time when righteousness was rare, Noah stood out, not because he was perfect, but because he listened. And what God asked of him was no small thing. Build an ark, God said. A floating vessel the size of a football stadium in the middle of dry land, while the skies were clear and society laughed. It took Noah over a century to build the ark. Imagine the ridicule, the whispers, crazy Noah and his imaginary flood. Yet he pressed on, nailing each plank in obedience, not proof. The flood did come. 40 days and nights of unrelenting rain, fountains bursting from the deep, until every high mountain was covered. Humanity, in its pride, had been silenced. Only Noah, his family, and the animals aboard the ark remained, floating not just on water, but on grace. But here's where the hidden meaning begins to shine. The ark was not just a boat, it was a symbol of salvation, a preview of something greater to come. Think about it. The world was under judgment, destruction loomed, and in the midst of it, God provided one way out: the ark. One door, one vessel, no other rescue plan. Sound familiar? Thousands of years later, Jesus would say in John 10:9, "I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved." The ark foreshadowed Christ, our shelter from the judgment we deserve. And there's more: the pitch that covered the ark's wood to make it waterproof. The Hebrew word for it is kafar, the same root used for atonement. The same idea that would later describe how blood covers sin on the Day of Atonement. Even the animals, brought in pairs, remind us of creation's preservation, God's desire not to destroy but to redeem. Then the rainbow, not just a colorful end to a rainy story. It was a divine promise. Never again would God destroy the earth with a flood. A bow, weapon of war, now pointed away from earth, toward heaven, as if God himself would take the next blow. And he did. At the cross, the judgment of God didn't fall on a sinful world. It fell on his Son. Jesus took the flood so we could enter the ark of grace. The real meaning of Noah's Ark isn't about animals. It's about a God who sees wickedness, yet offers a way of rescue. It's about obedience in the face of mockery, faith without physical evidence, and salvation through a single door. We live in days that feel like Noah's, chaotic, dark, indifferent. But just like then, the door of the ark is open again. Not made of gopher wood this time, but of a cross-shaped offer. Even when judgment looms, God's heart is mercy. He always provides a way back. Don't wait for the storm. Step into the ark today. Say yes to the Savior who already built it for you.